If you guys didn't see the game last night, the Lions beat the Chiefs. It was a close one. The final score was 21-20. As a Chiefs fan, I'm not that happy, but it is what it is. You can't win all the time. I actually projected the Lions would win. If Kelsey, I said yesterday in my video yesterday that if Kelsey wasn't able to play, the Lions would win. And that's precisely what happened. So let's talk about the key takeaways of the season opener. Let's start with the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes was the best player on the field for the Chiefs. He was not himself, though. He had to rely on these receivers that were just. They're wide receiver threes and wide receiver fours in fantasy. Maybe even wide receiver fives. And for the most part, Patrick Mahomes did a good job throwing to these receivers. He did mess up on a couple of throws, and it was evident. People can see that he kind of messed up, but he wasn't really comfortable with he wasn't really comfortable without Travis Kelsey on the field, and I think that this game shows that Mahomes needs a veteran tight. Of course, he needs his veteran tight end, but a veteran target to rely on. When you have a bunch of wide receiver threes and fours that are rookies and second year, you can't really rely on them. You try to rely on Kadarius Toney, and that came back to bite him. He threw it to Kadarius Toney. It was a perfect throw, and it went for a pick six. That's one. Two, he threw it to Kadarius Toney. It hit off his knee. He could have easily caught that. And three, he threw it to Kadarius Toney and he totally missed it, and that would have won the Chiefs the game. Kadarius Toney blew the game for the Chiefs. That's what I'm saying. Sky Moore, I think the problem with Sky Moore is that he is too short to get some of these passes thrown by Patrick Mahomes. That was the problem with Sky Moore that game. He did have maybe I think one or two receptions that game. The thing was that Mahomes really didn't have a target to rely on. He tried to get. He have all these. Rashee Rice scored a touchdown, and Blake Bell scored a touchdown, and that was it. He tried to get Pacheco involved in the passing game too, which that's not his role. That's why they had McKinnon last year. He was like a PPR. He was a PPR. He wasn't a star, but he was really good in PPR leagues because he was known as the running back of the Chiefs that got the checkdowns while Pacheco was mainly running and whatnot. But Mahomes did get Pacheco involved in the passing game, and he did have a couple receptions. He did pretty. Pacheco did pretty well. He didn't score a touchdown, but he still did pretty well. He was a chain mover. Um, but other than that was it. That was everything that was good with the Chiefs. Oh, and one more thing that was good with the Chiefs as well. They had a defense without Chris Jones. Chris Jones is out because of a contract issue. Their defense tried really hard to stop the Lions, and you can see that they gave it a great effort, but it just wasn't enough. The Lions eventually broke through. Um, Chris Jones is a costly loss, and the fact that he wasn't there for Week 1 is just I wasn't happy about it, but that it kind of screwed over the pass rush. But what can you do? I don't work for the Chiefs. I'm just a fan. And then you have Travis Kelsey. Travis Kelsey was out. They said that he would go through a pregame workout on Thursday. He was doing a pool. He was doing a pool drill, and I guess he couldn't burst, or he couldn't. He didn't have enough power in his knee, so they sat him for that week, and it cost the Chiefs. So now let's talk about the Lions. The Lions they looked iffy, but they actually did pretty well at the same time. Sam Laporta, I had a feeling that he would be a chain mover and he wouldn't be touchdown dependent. He got like 8 or 9 points. in PPR leagues. He did pretty well. Amon-Ra St. Brown scored a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown was the #1 target for the Lions last year. He was targeted, I think it was like inside the 10 in this game, and for the touchdown, he had like almost 20 points in PPR leagues. Pretty good. Goff actually did pretty decent. He actually even though the Lions won the game, he finished lower in points in fantasy than Patrick Mahomes. He had like 15. Mahomes had like 20. So that was that. Goff didn't throw any interceptions. There was a fumble early in the game, and the Chiefs capitalized on that fumble. I think that was the only turnover. Except the rest they just punted it. They punted the ball. They went 3-and-out. They punted. But the real like turnover, like interceptions or fumbles, there was only one fumble. And the defensive line was I was actually impressed. Hutchinson, they broke through. They were able to break through that Chiefs O line. It looked like the O line was falling apart. They didn't really. I don't think it forced Mahomes to make some uncomfortable throws. I don't recall how many sacks the Lions got that game, but the offense looked pretty good. The run game also looked pretty good. I was actually surprised that Jahmyr Gibbs didn't see more snaps than Montgomery, because Montgomery looked like the RB1 in that one. They share the backfield, but I think that Jahmyr Gibbs should get more snaps in the future. But I'm surprised that he didn't get the majority of the snaps in week 1. Is what it is. I think he's a star in the making. We'll have to see how he does. The main player I was impressed by that game was Sam Laporta, and I think he could be a tight end 1 if he finds the end zone. If he's targeted more and he finds the end zone, I think he can be a future tight end 1. And that is my takeaways from the first game of the season. Like and subscribe for more fantasy content. If you like this video, share this video with your family and friends.